What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mr. Madrid from the Mr. Madrid Show, and today we are up to episode number 47, and we have a special guest by the name of Esmeralda Baez. And she is a two-time best-selling author, mental health advocate, philanthropist, and an Afro-Latina entrepreneur. She is the founder of Elite Vision Media, co-founder of Night Night Supplements, president of Care by Baez, creator of the Women's Trailblazers series, and the voice behind Reset and Reboot and the guided meditation album Whispers of Calm. Her work centers around wellness, transformation, representation, and helping people understand that they are not broken, they are becoming. Esmeralda, welcome to the Mr. Madrid Show, and I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful intro. Oh my God, is that me?
That is
I
you.
appreciate it. We finally made it happen. I'm happy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this. I know it took a little time, but I think now is the perfect timing. So,
Mhm.
welcome onto the show. Thank you for making the time to jump on real quick with me and have a quick little chat, so the people that may not know of you can now know of you, and the people that already do know a little bit more, right? And one question that I ask all of my guests: Who is Esmeralda Baez beyond the businesses, books, titles, and accomplishments?
That's a great question. Who am I? I'm just believe it or not, a very calm, kind-hearted, I would say, focus-driven woman. I come from very, very humble beginnings from Dominican Republic, and I think that the struggles and the traumas that I experienced from a very young age helped me become the woman that I am today, which is a woman of resilience, a woman of in her power,
Right.
walking in her purpose, and who takes no for an answer, but that is also not afraid to say no to others.
Mm, that's powerful. That's powerful. One thing that you mentioned that automatically triggered me is you mentioned trauma, right? As a young adult, young kid, as you grow along, and that's something that I spoke about in a different session about trauma and what the trauma. It's unfortunate, but it creates like if you went through something heavy, it creates hunger in you, and you know early on, right, because of the trauma, what you don't want. So talking about no and being able to say no, like you already know out the gate. And then talking about humble beginnings, what was young Esmeralda like?
How was I? I was a very shy person. Uh, an extrovert or introvert? Introvert is when you are like really, really quiet, right?
Yeah, introvert. Yeah.
I was beyond an introvert. I barely had friends. I was like the weird, unique child.
Right.
I dressed very different from everyone. I used to be in my own head all the time, creating stories and stuff. I would say I was a very insecure child. And I was insecure because the way I was raised, I didn't have a voice. I
Oh,
didn't have a voice with my parents. I was almost like it's sad to say it, and no shade on my parents. I love my parents. I have developed a beautiful relationship as an adult with my parents. I think they raised me based on their own traumas. They raised me based on their circumstances. They raised me based on survival mode. And for that, I forgive them. And that's why I was able to now have a great relationship with them. But yeah, I never had a voice. I was not even able to attend my high school graduation. They
oof.
had me scared like that the world was going to eat me outside, like literally. High school, I was didn't go to my prom, didn't go to the senior trip, any of that. I was not even able to go away for college because they thought I was this child still, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I think looking back at this time, it hindered a lot of my growth. I was forced to grow when I got married. And I got married not because I was in love. I'm sorry to my ex-husband. But we're speaking honestly here. I got married because I saw him as a way out of my parents' house. And
Yeah,
it's a crazy realization, but he served he served that purpose, and then I actually learned to love him. But all of that to say that I because I didn't have a good relationship in my adult years, in my young adult years with my parents, I saw marriage as my way out. Got married when I was 21 and got out of the house, and I was like, "Oh my god, now I have a voice. Now I have a voice." And at 21, 22 is when I found my voice. I started to find out the things that I liked. And I was not under this controlling, like, you have to be home by 9 p.m. and you can't talk to this person because those people are evil and blah, 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 all this stuff. So
right.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, yes, for sure. So in you being, because we're gonna obviously get to all the amazing things that you've done and the things you have going on, right, and the plans for the
Huh?
future. But what was that point in that journey, right, when you were kind of stuck in not being able to explore the outside world? What was your mentality like as far as like, you wanted freedom, but what were some of those aspirations that you had that you felt like you couldn't break out of that shell because you weren't allowed to? What were some of the things that you wanted to do?
The things that I remember now, because it's been decades. No, it's not been that long. The things that I do remember that I wanted to do that I was unable to when I lived with my parents, I believe it was just being more social.
Right.
I've always been kind of like a social butterfly, and I think that aspect of my life was taken um because of their regimen, you know? Um I would say that's the one that comes to mind uh from the top of my head.
And then
I can think of anything else. Yeah.
yeah, and then so fast forwarding to the point of when you started. um I'm very big into self-belief, like being able to like, because you already doubt yourself as it is, right? And then
Um,
you have dreams, aspirations that you're trying to achieve and trying to get started, and then you have the outside world fighting that against you, like the non-believers and things like that. When was it that you uncovered that you wanted to pursue the journey that you're on now? Like how at what age? Was it during your marriage? Was it after the marriage?
it was ooh, this is a great question. I don't think I've ever been asked this question. So, I was married from 21 all the way to 29. During that time, I was a housewife. I
Okay.
became a housewife 110%. I did have jobs and stuff, but it was just to kind of like, we were both young. Um, it was after the marriage when I got divorced that I found my voice. Because even when I was in that marriage, I didn't have a voice still.
Right.
I was like I was like a little puppet, now that I think about it. Like, the person that I was with was a beautiful human being, but I think he saw in me more potential than what I saw in myself, and he used to push me, but he used to push me almost like in a criticizing way, and I never took it the right way. I almost
Yeah.
felt like I was always being judged, so I always kept, like, myself on a shell. So when we got divorced is when I was like, "Okay, I'm on my own for the first time in my life." And I chose not to go back to my parents. So I was homeless for 8 months. By choice. I went, I stood in a shelter in the Bronx at the time. I remember this. And during this time is that I find, the things that I wanted to do. In the moments of desperation, moments of loneliness, moments of being lost, because I was very lost, is when I was like, what do you want to do with your life? You're so young, you're healthy. What do you want? And all I saw was a light at the end of the tunnel, but I wasn't so but I didn't know exactly what I wanted. So what I did was I got myself 2 jobs, started making a lot of money, what at the time was a lot of money, and saved up. So I became huge in saving money because I wanted to be out of that place, got my own place, and then changed my network. Then I started reading a lot and writing again a lot. During my marriage, I stopped writing for like 5 years. After the marriage, during the, I was when I was in the shelter, I started writing again, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm falling in love with my passion again. It's not just a hobby. This is like it was journaling,
Yeah.
and found so many things about myself that I loved. Like I said, saved money, and then one day woke up and I was just like, I'm not happy at any of my jobs. I have saved enough for 7 months of rent. That's all I was worried about.
Right.
Quit my jobs and started in the PR world with
That's
no knowledge.
crazy.
I didn't go to school for it, nothing. All I knew was that I was not happy at my current situation. And I knew that only I had the control of changing my reality.
Right. Right.
So I was, if I stick to this plan, I'm gonna make it. I have saved 7 months of rent. I'm good. Those 6 months, a lot of research. I connected with people in the PR, in the marketing, branding world. I was very thankful that I met amazing men, and I say men because I never got an opportunity from a woman. All the opportunities I ever got in the PR world was from men. So for that, I will always be grateful, and that's why every year for Men's Month, I celebrate them as much as I celebrate women,
Right.
right? And
So Esmeralda, real quick. So,
yeah,
because you have a hell of a story, let me tell you. Like, to be like seriously, because if even myself, like, I moved down to Florida 8 years ago, and this is not about me whatsoever, but just there was a big part
I
of.
want to know. I want to know.
So I moved out with my wife and kids, and I'm originally from Washington Heights. Both parents are from Chile. My lingo is Dominican, and you'll hear it if I come out with a something, it'll come out.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm bringing this up is more because of you. Like, I think about you in this. Like, we moved down to Florida, but I always knew, like, if it hit the like shit hit the fan, I could move
Mhm,
back to New York. My mom has a rent controlled apartment. I'm good, right? And I know it was a different circumstance for you, but that would have been the easy route for you to go back to your parents and then
mhm,
figure out whatever you needed to do. So I salute you for even because that's tough. Like, I've seen shelters. I've seen like the new shelter thing that they have going on in the Bronx now, where they're setting up different buildings just for shelters where people are there for a little bit of time. And it's
mhm,
not the easiest thing in the world. It's not the most comfortable. And that's where I think the growth is always, right? This is something I said in a previous episode where it's like when you're uncomfortable is when you will see the most amount of growth. And that's what it looks like it was for you. Like, it was,
mhm.
respectfully, you must have hit rock bottom. You hustled your tail off and then you figured it out, right? Because that's what you just said. So I could just imagine, but just for the people in the back, why
Mhm.
didn't you choose to go back to your parents' house? Just a quick question, because
I,
soy un
I
poquito metido and I want to know.
no, no,
Like,
no, it's fine. I love it. Me encanta, me encanta, me encanta. The reason why I made the conscious decision as an adult to not go back to my parents because I felt that if I went back, it was going to hinder my growth.
got it.
I wanted to prove myself, my parents, my family, that I can make it on my own. And that for the first time, I don't need a partner, I don't need a parent, I don't need a sibling to make it. So it was more of a personal challenge
You wanted
more
to prove
than
it to yourself that you
I
could.
wanted to prove it to myself. I wanted to prove myself that with discipline and sacrifice, you can accomplish anything and everything.
Right.
And
Love it.
if I have a chance to go back, I would not change it at all. I would go back to the shelter. I
Yeah.
will do things a little differently.
But so
But
even though you went to a shelter and it was rock bottom for you, that was like the start of your freedom, right? Because you mentioned something of not having a voice when you were with your parents, and then not because, and you said he was a wonderful man, so respect to him. We're not trying to do, but when you were in the marriage, you
yeah,
also didn't have a voice and you weren't even inspired to have a voice on paper. So that must have been very, very limiting, right? Especially for a
absolutely.
young woman who has, and I'm assuming you had dreams and aspirations, but you almost put that in like a safe somewhere and you didn't know when you were going to get to it. So
Mhm.
then after that, you went into the PR world. Talk to me about that. Like, why did you choose PR? Like, why did you choose to go all in on that and pursue that as
I
your first
know.
journey?
So now we're okay. So now we're out of the shelter. Now I'm in my own little apartment in Harlem in a beautiful brownstone. And I chose PR because a lot of people had mentioned it to me. They're like, "Es, you have such a great personality. Every time I invite you somewhere, everybody's always asking, who is the girl? She has great personality, blah, blah, blah. Have you thought about PR?" And I was very ignorant at the time. And I'm like, PR, you mean like Puerto Rico? Like, I want to go to Puerto Rico. I'm like, no, like, and I remember his name is Hanse Balbuena. He was the one whoever really believed in me. And it was also John Hollywood from Miami. They both saw something in me and
Right.
they opened the doors. They're like, we're gonna help you. Um, and at the time, it was like the time where reggaeton was like taking off a lot, like in the US, dembow, all of that, and they were having artists from DR, from Colombia, from Puerto Rico, doing a lot of media tours. For those of you that don't know what's a media tour, is basically when someone, an artist, is coming out with a project, whether it's a single, or an EP or a full album. So what we do is we pretty much help them promote it, right?
Okay.
We take them to all the platforms, digital platforms, get them on billboards, put them on magazines, blah, city, blah, all of that good stuff. So I was doing that. So they made me in charge of their operations in New York City after training me and stuff, and I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, I'm waking up every day. I'm meeting new people. I'm taking them to YouTube. I'm taking them to Spotify. I'm taking them to AudioMag, uh, all these wonderful platforms. And I'm like, this is like a dream job. And I fell in love. But I fell in love before getting into PR because of my love for music. I have always loved music. I love the fact that music can actually really change your mood.
Yeah.
It like you can be feeling down, and if you put I don't know, a reggaeton or some rap, automatically you on that hype
Yeah.
vibe.
For me, it's
But
una
if you want to
salsita, like a little salsita
una
is on.
salsita or something like that, right? If
Yeah.
you in a loving mode, you want to start dance, to some bachata or some R&B, some classic like Sade or Erica
Yeah.
Badu. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I fell in love with music before PR, and PR was just like an opportunity that came, and I was just like, listen, I'm open to it. I'm
Right.
open to it. And I gave it my all. I did my research. I didn't make it. I'm going to be very blunt here for anyone who's seeing this and just sees the success today. There were times I went a whole year, entire year without making money, zero money. I was working for free just so that people could see I was serious and they could see that I was there because I really wanted to make a difference.
Right.
Days where I didn't even eat, that nobody even knew about it, but now they know. But now you
Yeah.
will. Because everybody sees the, oh my God, the beauty and the lifestyle. And now she flies private here and she has the beautiful bags and all this stuff. Guys, this is not overnight success. This is 10 years in the making.
Esmeralda, you gotta say the way Dominicans say, like, yo pasé trabajo.
Yo no, yo no pasé trabajo. Yo
Yeah.
pasé Oye, mira, yo no creo que fue trabajo. Yo creo que
You
Dios me
see?
estaba, like, he was testing me. He,
Yeah,
he was,
yeah,
he was testing my faith in him for sure.
right. 100%. No,
Yeah.
it's true. So with doing PR and based on you said it didn't pan out too well for you during that time. Like, so what happened next? Like, what was your next step after that?
So my next step was proving myself, building a credible name for myself, doing free labor. And then when people saw that I was doing a great job doing free labor, they're like, "Oh, this girl is serious. Okay, let me see if I can give her a project here." And my first project came from SB, and he worked at Warner Latin. He believed in me, and he put me as a consultant. And that's when I was like, okay, I can make money here. No,
Yeah,
I can't make money. And out of that, then I just started working with other artists. Trabajé con Kid Keo, trabajé con Bizarrap, trabajé con Químico Ultra Mega from DR, trabajé con John Z, trabajé con, oh my God, there were some, I'm so sorry, I can't remember everybody. Those
yeah,
are
yeah.
like the top right now. But trabajé con unos cuantos that were really good. Some artists also from from Colombia. And yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
So when you say you became a consultant and you worked with those folks, what was it that you were doing?
So when you do consulting, you kind of like, so whenever the artist has a project out, you pretty much help them with the layout of the media tours and all of this. So I was in charge of the crossover part, right? Because
Okay.
now at this time I'm like, I skipped a part. So I was working with Hansen, with John Hollywood, all this stuff, and then I was like, I see the value in the Latin culture, and I want to be involved, but I want to get into the crossover because there's so much talent, but the mainstream world does not know about this talent. So I focus on the crossover. So I was hired. I was offered this opportunity from SB that worked at Warner at the time because now I was working on the outlets in the mainstream market, like the
Okay.
Forbes, Billboard, GQ, all these magazines and all these platforms for them to go on talking English and all this stuff. And that's where they saw a value in me. So I was hired as a consultant more because they needed the exposure
Right.
in in the in the mainstream market, however you want to call it.
And what does that mean when you say crossover? Does that mean that you're helping Latin artists cross over to the English market? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm like, I hope
Whoever
it's not a
I
dumb question because I'm like, I don't
No,
know if
no, no,
that's
it's not a dumb question because me personally, when I first started, I was like, huh? That's exactly what it means. It means like let's say I think it was with Kid Keo. He's a artist from Spain. I was hired because he just raps in Spanish. But he did a record with, I believe it was Yon MIA, a rapper from here, from New York, and they needed the PR for that. But they were targeting this audience here, right?
right.
So that's when they will come to me. Hey S, we have this record that's in English. How can you get us? So it's like getting them in the radio, getting them in podcasts. It's a little critical at times because some of the artists they don't speak English.
Yeah.
Um, so you have to be very selective. But when it comes to just getting them featured in magazines and billboards, that's easy work. I do all of that.
And how long ago was this? Like, how many years ago did this go
I
down for you?
started in 2016,
Okay.
and I was working in partnership with other people until 2018. And in 2018, I made the decision to go on my own and open my own farm, Elite Vision Media. So it's been in business now since 2018. The beauty of this was that I'm a very grateful person. and I don't like to do things behind people's back. So I told them, I think I want to transition and I want to do this on my own. And they were so happy. They're like, oh my God, great, because you've been talking about you want to do this crossover. Now we can actually this could be beneficial for both entities
Right.
because they are focused in the Latin market. Now I'm focused in the English market. Now we can merge this together and we can become a powerful team.
Yeah, that's
And that's what we
amazing.
did. Yeah.
That's amazing. And the reason I ask you too about the timing is because like we within the last 10 years, and this is my assumption, but based on what we see, the Latin community, Latin artists have really been
Mhm.
accepted by America, like the American public, people that don't speak Spanish, and they're bumping. Bad Bunny is one of the prime examples of being everywhere. It's Super Bowl, right? And I think do you feel like
A
you
huge
caught
milestone. Kudos to freaking Bad Bunny and his entire team because that is, hey,
do you ever look at it as you were one of the folks behind the scenes that was a part of that? Did you ever look
absolutely.
at it like that? Like, cause that's what it is. Like you were helping doing the crossover work behind the scenes since 2016. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know how far, maybe 2014 is when 15, we started hearing of artists like Bad Bunny and it really
Yeah, it
making an
started.
impact.
Yeah, it started probably like in 2015, like about 11 years ago. But I think it went really like viral probably in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Where it's like now like a phenomenon, like people everywhere. You could go to Dubai, you can go to Egypt, you can go anywhere in the world, and you will actually listen to Spanish music.
Yeah. It's
And you're
beautiful.
just like, when I travel, like Dubai, Saudi, and I'm hearing Bad Bunny or I'm listening to a Karol G. I'm like, this is insane.
Right.
But it
Right.
makes me proud. It makes me proud because it's our culture. It's the Latin
Yeah.
culture. I don't care what country you're from. You could be from Chile, Costa Rica, Colombia, Mexico. Somos Latinos. Somos
Yeah.
todo
That's
uno,
the
una
beautiful thing.
raza. And I take the pride.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you can tell this story as far as being one of the folks that made an impact and was a part of that journey because it must have not been easy. Like I'm huge into music. I love music, all types of music. I don't do country, but I don't discriminate. I'll listen to a good song here and there.
Of course.
But just looking at like Nori is one of the artists that always talks about him being one of the first people that did the crossover where he got on a
The
reggaeton song,
pioneers. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But look how that was like '04, maybe '05, something like that. And look how
I
long
believe
it took
so.
to actually, explode. So that's awesome.
It took
So
him
then,
almost 20, like 15 years later.
right. So for
Mhm,
you moving away from, and we gotta touch it on it like this, like you went from a secure check because you're working
uh-huh.
for somebody to saying, I don't want
I
the
had
secure
3
check. And
jobs, 3
look
secure
at that.
chefs.
And now you're like, you know what? I want to do my own thing and put up my own money. So
Mhm,
what gave you el valor, like that drive and that not motivation, but that confidence, right? Because again, for the folks in the back, we're talking about a young lady who was limited to what her voice was limited. Went from a
mhm,
limited voice and being a bit of an introvert to really
mhm,
like, you bursted out of a cocoon into a butterfly and you just were doing your thing, right? So all
mhm.
those things, it's a wonderful story. And then you get somewhere and you're successful. And then you're like, you know what? I want to do my own thing. So talk to me about that. Like where did you get this confidence from to say like, I'm gonna take this leap of faith and go on my own?
I'm gonna be very blunt with you, not happy with where I was. And I am the type of person that I dislike procrastination. I dislike people just complaining. I don't like my job. I don't like my life. Only we have control of that. So it was the not being happy with my life at the time, not being happy with the money I was making. It took a lot of self-belief to make the decision that I made. There were times where I doubted myself. Uh, I doubted myself because I was like, did I make the right decision? But what helped me stay focused was that I knew that if I stood disciplined and obedient to what I thought my purpose was, I was going to make it. I didn't know when, but I knew that if I stood focused, it was just a matter of time.
Right.
And I've always had this little hustle mentality that is like, I'm going to figure it out. Like, it's not here, but if one door closed, another one is going to open. And if this person said no, another person is going to say yes. And if he doesn't see their potential, she will see their potential. So I've always, it's like, it was always like like an internal battle of like the negative and the positive. And I'm just glad that I always listen to the positive, because the negative is not going to take you anywhere.
Right. We already come pre-programmed with negativity. As much as like I hate it too, Esmeralda. Like I hate anything negativity. You speak like even when people that come to me with a problem just to complain, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hear you out, but I don't hear no solution anywhere near in this conversation. Like, come to me with something, right? So it's awesome
Uh-huh.
to hear you say, like, you doubted yourself, but you still stayed in the hustle. Like, you still hustled to get where you're at today. So, what
Uh-huh.
came next after that? Like, you established your business?
Yeah, so I established my business, and then for some reason I was just like, I felt stagnant at some point. I'm like, I'm only doing music, and like I want to transition into something else. Like, I want to work now with people in the real estate business, in finance, and in other fields. And I started expanding my network. I was no longer now attending just music events. I was like, I want to go to the real estate um seminars, meet people, connect there, and that's how I expanded my network. And now my network is, I'm so grateful for my network. My network is so solid, so powerful. I love the fact that so many people say your network is your net worth. And I got tired of hearing that until I fully understood that your network is actually your net worth. It becomes your net. When you start hanging around the right people, people that are making moves, you have no choice but to step up your game and start
It,
making moves.
it's contagious, right?
You are going, and one thing with me is Madrid is that whoever you see next to me is better than me at something.
Hmm.
I don't hang out with people just to hang out. I am hanging out with people because I strategically, consciously want them there. I want them at that table.
Right. And and kudos to that. Like that's smart, right? Coming from a
Uh-huh.
person that's pursuing this art form of podcasting, I
No, no, no. Hold on. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. We are not pursuing. You are doing it. We
I'm
speak
doing
into manifestation. You are already, before I became a publicist, I told everybody I was a publicist.
okay. I'll take it
You
because it's
have to
true.
believe it yourself before anyone could believe it.
Right. Andre, and I am
So
a
you are
podcaster,
already
so you
doing the
are right.
podcast.
You're
You
right.
are. You are a
100% right.
podcast. Okay?
Yeah, I stand corrected. You're 100%
Sorry,
right.
I
And
actually like,
no, I love
man,
it.
I
I love
wouldn't
it.
do that
It's
here.
better to be around people like that than people that are just gonna let you carry on with what you're saying. So I appreciate that. So I am a podcaster.
Mhm.
I'm in this journey of expanding. There you go. And it's how do you get into that world of networking? Like you say you attend events and you do things like that. Um, what does that even look like? The networking aspect of it.
Well, for me, today is a little different. I am very, before I used to go to any and every event I was invited because I just wanted to meet people and collect numbers because I thought that was networking. Collecting numbers is not networking.
Okay.
Networking is when you actually take the time to genuinely connect with those people. It's taking that number, meeting that person on a Friday night, and on Monday sending a message, following up. Hey, this is Esmeralda. We met on such and such event. I would love to connect with you. Let me know when it's a good time to speak. I would love to create synergy. That's how you start network. A lot
Love
of
it.
people got that twisted, confused. I know I met this person at this event, but are you nurturing those connections, those friendships?
What is
If
it that
you're
the
not,
youngsters
then
do now that they do clock it?
they're like, "I'm networking. I'm at a networking event." Okay, so you got three numbers, but and you have now a phone with thousands of numbers, and you don't even remember where you met them. No,
Right.
that's pointless. So today for me, networking. I mean, now I'm in a very good space that I'm very grateful to be. I actually choose the places that I go. And I have become so good with my intuition that the reason why I actually don't go to a lot of events is because I know that the type of people that are going to be there are not going to, and this may sound crazy, but they are not going to add any value to what I have going on in my life. And I'm at a point in my life where any type of relationship, whether it's personal business, has to be mutually beneficial.
Right.
If it's not mutually beneficial, we got no business. I am all about helping if I see potential in you. If I see potential and hunger and you don't have the resources, I don't mind giving you putting you in contact with people and stuff like that. But when it comes to network and going to events just for the sake of saying I was at this event with such and such, oh no, 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 no. Like when you see me at an event today, it's because I know that I'm gonna leave that event with two potential projects or with some money in my pocket because I got paid to attend. Is a reality.
That's some boss shit right there. That
I'm
yeah, I
either
respect. I
make
respect it.
I'm either coming out with a check or I'm coming out with a really good connection that's gonna lead to potential investments,
Yeah.
projects, whatever it is.
No, that's amazing. I love how real that is. Like I've never, and I'm being transparent. Like I've never heard somebody say something like that. Like, cause it's real, right? It's 100% real. Like at in the pursuit, I think that now, right? Like and I think it has a lot to do with protecting your time because it's valuable. Got time? I don't have time for nonsense. And just to throw this in there before we go to the next question, like I work a 9 to 5. Like I clocked out of that and I jumped into this because this is what I want. And I think that's what a lot of people don't see is the sacrifice, like going to a shelter, saving up 7 months. Like those are all sacrifices that created a foundation for you to be where you're at today. And that's what I love about podcasting, that you're telling your story right now. And I know it's gonna inspire people because it inspired the shit out of me so far, right? And
Yeah.
it's beautiful, to hear all those things. So started your own PR firm and you still have it today. So what was next after that for you? Like,
So I actually sold part of the company. So I am the founder, no longer the CEO.
okay,
Uh, but I still take pride in it. Um, so yeah, outside of the PR, then I got into the wellness space.
so wait,
The
as
wellness
I'm
space.
sorry, time out.
I'm
You say
sorry.
you sold a piece of it, so you made it like we're not gonna skip over that because, and I'm not gonna ask you nothing. It's I'm interested because you branched off on your own. You obviously were successful because there was value in your business, enough value where you can sell a piece of it. So that's
Uh-huh.
huge. Let's not skip over that because that's a boss move right there. Like you got your business that you started on, that you were scared to do at one point. I mean, you still did it. You faced that fear, and you were sometimes you would question it, and you
Uh-huh.
got it to the point of being able to sell a piece of it. Like that's dope. That's amazing. So I
Yeah.
just we don't have to
So
get into
so when
that.
I say a piece, I mean like I sold the company, but I'm still consulting. So I sold it, got paid for it, but I'm still kind of like consulting. So I'm still getting a check after I sold it.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now we could carry on. Go ahead because we had to stop that. Like, come on.
I can't. I'm laughing because I mean it's the realest possibly like it's the only thing I can possibly say. I sold it, but I hire myself as a consultant, so I'm still
And there's gems there that I'm pretty sure we don't have enough time to really dig into all that. But like, I'm
that's
sure
fine.
there's
We can continue though.
yeah there's gems within that because to even pull off a deal like that where you sell a piece of your company and you're still involved in it. Like I've only seen that in movies where people are like, oh yeah,
Oh,
we're
it
gonna keep.
happens. It happens. It's about I feel when you're doing transactions like that, we a lot of where a lot of people fail, I feel, is they don't know the value that they bring to the table. People don't buy the company. People bought the story behind it. They bought me. I represented the company. You get what I'm saying? It's like when you buy a
Yeah,
product, you don't buy the product itself, you buy the story behind it.
yeah.
So that's that was that.
It's funny you say that because that's what this hat means to me. It's not the hat. It's like I went to New York in October and I made an
Is
effort to
this
go
a
down.
Rock Nation hat?
Yeah, the planes hat. And I went out of my
Yeah,
way
yeah.
to go to the
It's
store.
a paper planes, paper
Paper
planes.
planes. I went to the store. Like
Yeah.
I went to New York to attend an event, and I went out of my way to go downtown because like it's not the hat is dope, but it's the whole creation of what was made, the story,
Mhm.
right? That inspires me. So when I wear the hat, when I was in the store, like I had goosebumps. So I know exactly what you're saying, and it's dope to know that you can there's profit in that and that you create something and it has value, package it up, and here you are. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So after you sold the company, you stayed on as a consultant. What was next for you?
I've been a writer my entire life. It was my way of dealing with anxiety, past traumas, and stuff like that. 2020 comes, we had all the time in the world. And that's when I went back into morning journaling, like deep every day for a whole year. And at the end of it, I'm like, I have so much content here. Do I want to put it out? What do I want to do with all of this? I was like, I'm gonna write a book. And I connected with Peter. Peter is a very well-known publisher, good friend of mine. Kudos to you, Peter.
Shout out to
And
Peter.
he we I told him the story. I had 90% of it written already. And he's like, well, I mean, the book is almost ready. We just need the cover and we need to make some edits um as far as vocabulary and stuff. And I think 4 months later, the book was out. The release was in August of 2022. We became a bestseller during pre-sale. Um, so before even the book came out, it was already a bestseller. I was like, "What? I didn't even expect this." The amount of support and love that I got from this book was I never expected it. I honestly wrote the book just to share my journey of healing with others, maybe just to inspire them to continue. You know, with whatever it was that they were going through or still going through, just like a word of motivation. I share a lot of personal stuff with the world that I was a little skeptical at first, but then I was like, if I'm gonna be honest, I gotta be fully honest with everything,
Right.
right? And that is reset and reboot, regaining mindfulness, 2022, because it was such a success, decided to write it in Spanish. So the same book in Spanish, and then that one became an international bestseller. 27 countries was
Wow.
mind blowing from that. I'm like, then getting recognized like She's Bank from that, Amazon bestseller too. I was just very blessed. And then I'm like, what else can I possibly do? Like, I already did the books. I'm, I want to write another book, which I already finished, is a pocket book of daily affirmations. It should be out sometime later this year. It was supposed to be out earlier, but some stuff happened behind the scenes. And but it's already done. I'm very proud of it. And yeah, it's a daily pocket book of daily affirmations, a very small book. From that,
What
I
inspired
went into
that?
the wellness.
By
Huh?
the way, what inspired that? The affirmations book. I know you said that you're thinking about what's next.
Oh boy. I'm
Which
big on
Esmeralda,
affirmations.
I find that not funny in a bad way, but funny in like it's amazing that you're like, all right, what else? Like you have a whole list of stuff. You're like, all right, which one? Which next goal am I gonna kill right now? Like, just like, all right, ven pa' acá. It's your turn.
No, so
Dope.
what was the question again? I'm so sorry. You got me
No.
distracted.
What inspired the affirmations book?
The affirmations book. I'm big on manifestation. I think that I have manifested my life. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe that whatever the mind can conceive, if you put in the motherfucking work,
Hmm.
you can achieve. So that was really the reason.
And you just wanted to give
Yeah,
that out.
I can't even say anything more, but that's the only thing that comes to my mind that I genuinely feel right now. Like yeah, it was for that.
Got you. Okay.
But also the power of subconsciously, whatever you tell yourself, you start believing. So I have this habit of whenever I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is one, I say thank you to God for giving me another opportunity, right? I'm a winner. I am beautiful. Today will be one of my greatest days. I'm getting in the habit too of instead of saying, I'm sorry for being late, thank you for waiting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just changing like words. I mean, it has shifted my relationship with God today too. I think has been great help. I am I'm a work in progress. I made a decision this year early this year that I wanted to study the Bible. I wanted to really understand scriptures and stuff. So I say I take Bible studies. I'm nowhere near where I can talk about the Bible and scriptures and Psalms and any of that. But every day I'm getting better and I love it. It has been a very grounding experience for me. And I think the
Right.
calmness that I feel today, the humbleness, being more appreciative has been because of a lot of, I mean, health issues that I've had in the past and stuff like that. But mostly, the relationship that I'm building with with God for sure.
Right. It's very powerful. And you said something that I say too. I'm a work in progress and I will always be a work in progress. And as long
Yeah,
as
we
you
are.
accept that within yourself, you always have a relationship. So to me, I'm very big on God, you know. And I accept
Thank
it.
you.
I accept that I'm a work in progress. But it's amazing that you have so many things that you have set out to do and you've accomplished them and you keep evolving um through the things that you're doing. And as much as I find it funny because it's an admiration laughter of like, wow, like I always look at things that are done, like successful people, and I
Uh-huh.
smile because I'm like, it's attainable. Like you have things that you sought out for and you've accomplished them and you're like, okay, the next one, what's the next thing? So, I think that's amazing and it's such a beautiful thing. And then to involve God into the mix and, you have an affirmations book that's about to come out soon is all
Uh-huh.
positive, right? Can you talk to us about the wellness journey?
Yeah, I have a product, but I wanted to before I go into the wellness, you mentioned something about success. And a lot of people they mistake success with finances. And I want to say something very, very critical, very important here. Success to me today does not mean a big bank account. Success does not mean you are a man or a woman of character, of morals or values. Success to me means being happy with the choices that you have made to be where you are today.
Peel that onion back a little bit. What are you trying to say here? Talk to me about that.
A lot of people, success is money, the cars, the bags. That is not success. Success is being in peace with yourself, sleeping at night well. Success is having freedom of your time,
Hmm.
being able to go on a trip if you want to tomorrow. But it's also being able to help others, being kind to others. You don't know the struggles that motherfuckers are going through every day. It's probably the person that's smiling every day at you that is suffering from depression and mental health, right?
Right.
So all of that comes from that. I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody and stuff. Plus, you never know also the things that people had to do to get to where they are today.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
The journey.
I agree with it. I agree because success to me is that exactly similar to what you're saying, where it's like it's peace, it's having tranquility, it's knowing who you are
Mhm.
and being proud of the person you are and the person you're becoming because we're always evolving. So that
Yep.
to me is success within itself. Like I saw a video with 50 Cent was talking about like somebody who makes 60,000 a year and has a little cushion. They may be more happy than if somebody who has millions of dollars and has a mansion. So it's
I, Madrid, let me just tell you, I can't say names because it would not be appropriate. I know so many, not millionaires, I'm talking about multimillionaires that are miserable.
yeah.
Okay? All they have is money, but they're broken inside. And that's where I come with the success part. Success does not mean happiness. Success does not mean peace of mind. I've met, I am blessed to be able today to go to a mansion of a friend that's worth $17 million. And 2 days from now, I'll go to my friend who lives in the projects. And I love that I'm able to do that because it keeps me balanced and
Yeah.
it makes me appreciate life even more.
It
You
says a
know,
lot
and
about your character. Like you
the same way I can be on a private jet tomorrow, I can be taking,
the
I
train.
mean, I haven't taken the train in a very long time, but if I had to
Yeah,
take
it's a
the
little hot
train,
down there.
I'm I'm saying if I had to take the train, I would be taking the train
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
bus. I was actually on the bus the other day. I did it. I told my friend, I haven't been on the bus in like 7, 8 years. Can we just take the bus?
Yeah.
And it was an experience for me. I was like a little kid. This is my favorite question. And I'm gonna explain to you why. What got me into the wellness space was dealing with a lot of health issues. Being diagnosed with a brain aneurysm, hypertension, high cholesterol, anxiety, severe chronic insomnia. Like at this time when I'm getting all this stuff, I'm like, oh my God, God, what else are you gonna give me? What else? And then I understood that I was the chosen one because he knew that I was gonna use my voice to help other people.
Hmm.
So I never see my circumstances when it comes to health as like, why me? Why me? I'm like, he saw something in me. God saw something in me. He knows that I am strong enough to deal with it, right? Wellness, get into it because of my lack of sleep. Um, I battled with mental health, never depression. I wouldn't say depression, but I was diagnosed bipolar disorder. By the way, whoever diagnosed me with that, I think you were right, but not really. I'm not on medication for bipolar. I decided not to take medication for it. I have come to understand my body, what triggers me, what doesn't. So I'm very conscious and aware. And whenever I feel like I'm going to have an episode, let's say, I do breathing exercises, I meditate, I do groundwork, and I pray. And that has really helped me. And I mind my business.
You
And I mind my business.
you mind the business that pays you. It's
I mind the
which
business that pays me. I mean, yeah. So I get into wellness, create this amazing product, Night Night. Like I said earlier, in partnership with Janique Freeze, retired basketball player. We both dealt with the same situation, which was insomnia. And to be honest, I'm so happy that we created this product and that we know that it works because insomnia has become one of the biggest issues in today's society. When I tell you the amount of people that contact me almost on a daily basis telling me I'm having problems sleeping, is either they can't fall asleep or when they do, they don't sleep for long enough. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And what a lot of people don't understand with the lack of sleep is lack of sleep can cause you so many problems. It can trigger your mood swings, your anxiety, um, can lead to depression. The lack of sleep can cause you a lot of chronic um, disorders as well. And it has been proven. I don't want to get too much into details with that because I am not an expert or a healthcare professional, but I've done my research. And I can just tell you that when you sleep, when you get enough hours of sleep, your nervous system feels a little bit more regulated. When your nervous system is not how it's supposed to be, you are going to feel it. You are going to notice a change. And my goal with this product is that I want this product to be kind of like what Starbucks is in coffee. But Victoria's Secret is for lingerie. It's like a lifestyle rather than just something that you take. Oh, this is what I take. No, no, no. I want you to see it as this is part of our routine,
Right. Almost like a vitamin, right? Like you're
like a
taking this for
vitamin.
the betterment of your health.
Absolutely, for your sleep. Because think about it, when you don't sleep well, you're not recharging. What happens to a computer when the battery, when it's on for 6 months, the battery burns and it crashes? Same thing happens to the brain.
Yeah. And I'm a napper to top it off. So I know exactly what you say when you talk about not getting rest. I'm like a baby. If I don't get rest, I'm cranky. And like you said, it
Oh
affects your
my,
mood. It affects everything.
cranky. Oh my God, you become irritable. I remember dating somebody, great man, amazing man. I almost felt like he was probably my soulmate. And because my nervous system was so irregulated at the time that I was seeing him, it didn't work out.
That's crazy.
It's just so that you could understand the severity of that. And a lot of people take it for granted. Whenever somebody tells me, "Oh, I sleep 8, 10 hours," I'm like, "How? Oh my God. God
I
bless
wish.
you."
So
Because
I
I
wish.
get 4 or 5 hours of sleep and I'm like, I'm up and I'm just doing, just
And
going.
I could just imagine with you two as mother being that you're such a go getter and you always have these ideas and stuff and sleep must be something difficult too because sometimes like myself I get excited about ideas that I come up with and then I'm like fuck I
I'm
can't go to sleep now that like I need to do some research. I need to like I'll come downstairs to my office and I'm just like en la computadora ahí like looking and you know what I mean? So I could just imagine that's something else that doesn't help. You know what I mean?
being an overthinker, it's the worst. There's times that I go to sleep at 9 o'clock, but I go to sleep thinking of something. I wake up at 1 o'clock and I'm like looking around and I'm like, oh my God, I have this idea and I have to write it down. I'm also very big on dreams. A lot of the things that I have done, I've seen it in dreams before they come into
Mm,
fruition. So I believe that your dreams is your subconscious speaking to you, right?
right.
That's another topic. But yeah, my brain, I could be here and I'm thinking already of what's the next project for next year, or how can I get involved in this thing? How can I help this person with that? And it's it's a little chaotic at times,
But it's
a
also,
little bit.
what's I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no.
Oh,
I
I
was
think
done.
it was sorry. What I would say is awesome too, about this conversation is in you being in a place where you're running your businesses and you're talking about making sure that you surround yourself with people of value, because I'm sure for people watching this, listening to this, and even myself, um, I'm always a person that's coming up with ideas, and I've I can't even tell you I have a circle anymore. It's just me and my wife, and she's used to the crazy ideas because she's like, every time you think of doing something, te va bien. That's what she tells me. She's like, and she laughs. She's like, she says one, she wants to say, fucking guy, like you think of doing something and you make it happen out of nothing, and like it comes to fruition. And not that, and again, like I'm thankful to God that the things that I'm able to do, I'm able to like harvest something out of it, but it's not enough because it's not where I want to end up. And in hearing your journey and your story, it makes me feel better because it's like we're destined for more. We're destined for better. And I put a post the other day, and I'm saying this because of what you said. Is like I I know you said it, and I hope I don't miscommunicate this, but like I said, how did I say? I said money isn't everything, but it's everything. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason I say that is because you can't eat without money, right? But my
Mm-hmm.
thing is more of like being in a place where I can be of influence and of help, similar to what you said, that you can finally be in a place where you can actually help others. And I think
Yeah.
that's where the biggest reward comes into play, where that is success. Yeah, the money, the cars, all this stuff is it's beautiful. And I call them toys. Like I always say, like as soon as I get a couple dollars, I'm gonna have a bunch of toys. But for me, the biggest impact is what could I do for people that I love? You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
people that I meet, like if can because I'm like that. Like even at the job I was before, I see somebody and I'm like, hey, like, have you ever thought about working in this, like ofreciendo trabajo? Like if I'm the owner, but I just see
Mhm.
the similar to yourself, where somebody saw potential in you. I see
Yeah.
that in others too. Like, and I think that's awesome.
That is amazing. I love that. I love that. I wanted to add something to what you said, that money is everything, but it's nothing at the same time.
Yeah,
Perfect example is people with money have that are not healthy. What do they do with all the money when they don't have the cure to whatever it is that they have?
it doesn't matter.
Once I made those realizations, that's when I was like, I don't even look at money the same.
Yeah,
Money, we need money to survive, but money will definitely make you happier. It will definitely make you it would maybe change your mood and all this stuff, but once you have the money, it's like, what else?
yeah,
What else is going to bring me joy? Because now I have the money, but what else is going to keep me smiling? It's going
and
to keep me moving.
Esmeralda,
It's going to
that's
continue making me walk in my purpose.
and that's scary too, right? Because I'm sure you've seen Will Smith talk about like, and even Jim Carrey. He's like, I wish that there was a way to give everybody all the money in the world so they can see that it still doesn't matter. And imagine being in something like that. And that's one of my fears too, like is hitting that plateau of what I think is success and then not being
Mhm.
happy and then be like, holy shit, like I'm at the top of the mountain and I'm like, what do I do now?
Yeah, yeah.
But but yeah, just I know that we took the conversation somewhere else and continuing on with your
Whispers
story.
of calm.
Whispers of calm. Let's do it. Because you mentioned meditation and you
Yeah.
mentioned that helps, which is super powerful for anybody that's watching that may be diagnosed with being bipolar or has insomnia and
Anxiety
anxiety.
disorder.
Like,
Yep.
talk to us about that. Talk to us about how you got started with meditation and how you went into that world.
I started meditating in the pandemic, so I've been meditating for 6 years now consistently. And the reason why I got into meditation was because honestly, I was on heavy medications to sleep. And I was like, I can't continue depending on pills to sleep because sleep is something that should come natural, right? So I started doing my research as usual, and I was just looking for ways like, what can I possibly do in my power, right? Not medicine, in my power as a human, as a woman, to make this situation better. And one of them was seeing, meditation, being active. Mobility is key. Mobility, moving your body. Um, if you're moving your body all day, at some point at night or during the day, you're gonna crash because your body can take so much, right? So that's how I started with the meditation. Like I said earlier, groundwork, um, fasting. I fast once a week for 24 hours. It's my way of resetting my body to whatever. I don't eat bad at all, but I feel that it doesn't matter if you eat good or not. It's very important to reset your body, right? Remove the toxins and just detox. So that came from that. And this idea of creating a guided meditation album came from a dream that I had, to be honest. In the dream, I heard my voice speaking, like, at an event, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it just sounded so calming." And the next day, I'm like, "Hmm." I'm having a conversation with a good friend of mine, Angel McCautry. She is a retired, um, NBA player, female, right? She was in the league for 10 years. And Angel is like, just do a meditation album. I'll help you." And it just started like that. And I'm like sending her voice notes of me talking. And she's like, "Girl, I'm going to do this for you." And I'm like, "Hold on. We're going to do this the proper way." And I'm like, "I love that you have this idea, but let me see if I can get some producers to this." I contact my producer guys, Rewire. They're based in New York. Love the guys, Set on Track. And I was like, "I have this idea. Can we make it happen? Like, just come to the studio." And I was like, "Okay." I had everything written down already. I knew that I wanted only 5 tracks, and it was just now a matter of choosing the sounds. And I'm into like, uh, rain, thunder, chirping birds, like sounds of nature.
Right.
And went to the studio, and I was listening to different beats and stuff, and I knew at the moment, like within 5 seconds, "That's the one. I want that one. I want that one." And then this other one, and then this other one. And then came the next day and did the recordings for my voice. And something that people don't know is that after a while, when you're recording your voice, it doesn't
Starts
sound the same. And
starts to
for a
crack up.
meditation album, you want everything to sound like the same. So, and I have like a squeaky voice at times, like I lose it. And so I wanted to make sure that every track, even though I'm only speaking for 1 minute, was the same. And I did the album in probably 2 weeks, put it out. I'm like, it's done. I
Yeah.
contacted some people, and it's now distributed by United Masters.
Shout out to United Masters.
United Masters. And yeah, I didn't do that with any expectations. It was not to become anything. I just wanted to create an album for my own healing.
Right.
For my friends, it makes me so happy to hear some of my friends like sending me stuff at night, like, "Hey, look what I'm listening to before I go to bed." I'm like, "This is beautiful," you know?
Yeah.
So that was more of a personal project. I didn't do it to be on radio or anything. It was just I want to do a guided meditation album, because I'm into that space. I love it, and that was a personal project for sure, which I'm very happy that I was able to do.
You know what I would say too? Like, I think it's amazing because it definitely is gonna help people and it's helping people because if people texting you saying, "Hey, look what I'm listening to," it's amazing.
Mhm,
And being that you are also on your spiritual journey that you mentioned and just trying to get deeper into the Bible and stuff, one thing that I'm a firm believer in is that these ideas that we get, they come from God, right? And it's up to us to execute them. And that's why I love something that Jay-Z says that we all have a God-given talent and we have to find it. Some people are fortunate where they're born and they can play a piano off of listening it to it. Some of us have to fine tune what our gift or gifts are. And I think that's a beautiful thing that, in coming to that spiritual journey, and not saying that you weren't on it before, but just based on what you were saying, is I highly believe that the things, the ideas that you've been given comes from
mhm.
God, and then the fact that you go and execute on it, I'm sure it makes God happy as well. And that's super awesome. You're very, what is it they say? You're highly favored and you're very blessed, and then to have that drive, will, and to be brave too. I find it very admirable. And to me, it's always powerful, and I love the fact that also you're a Latina woman that's on the show right now is because I have a daughter and I want her to see what hard work and sacrifice what it does. And when you have an idea, it's beautiful to say like, "Oh, I have an idea," and keep coming up with ideas. But it's like the
Mhm.
execution portion is probably the most important part of the whole thing. Because
It
if you
is
just
the
have an
most
idea,
important.
like what.
Anybody. I hear
Exactly.
ideas, I hear so many ideas all the time. And it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I love the ideas, but what are you doing to make these ideas a reality?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
an idea without execution is, I'm sorry, is nothing.
Yeah. I put up a
So
video
that,
and 3 years ago when I started the podcast, where it's like I had it like similar to yourself. I had a vision of a podcast, this, that, the next. I had a pressure washing, window cleaning business, sold
Mhm.
everything because of health reasons, and I invested into the podcast and I created it. It was in my garage in my previous house that I had, and I set it up. And just in looking what an idea that you have does when you execute on it, how beautiful it is. So again, to the
Uh,
listeners, the viewers, execute on your ideas like they are God given. And you see somebody's testimonial of all the things that she does, and she continues to look up in her list of things of what she's going to tackle next, which does lead me to my next question. What's next for you, Esmeralda? Like what do you have planned to knock out the park?
oh, personal and professional. Personal, continue with my continue walking in my purpose. And I have said this multiple times, but I believe that my calling today is to share my journey of healing with other people who may feel lost or insecure. I want to use my voice to inspire them to go after whatever it is that they want to go after. That's my personal. I have other stuff that, one of I want to build a school in Dominican Republic. Um, that's personal. Um, and continue building this beautiful relationship with God, practicing self-love every single day. And I think that's that for now. On the professional side, oh, the list is long.
Esmeralda, your face changed. You went from personal, it was nice, and you said business, it was like a whole, like the businesswoman came out. You were
I
like,
am like,
you
I
know,
want to do
it's-
so much. I'm currently working on investments. That's a new kind of thing that I'm very interested in. Investments, stock market, real estate. Those are new avenues that I definitely want to tap in. And when I say I want to tap in, it means that I'm already tapping in. But
I love it. I love it. ya yo estoy ahí.
Whenever you whenever you hear me saying "I want," it's because I already have.
Right.
I don't ever say "I want, I want." I say it's mine.
Mm,
Everything, it's mine. Whenever the first time it's so funny, and we're talking li material stuff. The first time I got, like, a very expensive bag, before I got the bag and I saw it, I said, "It's my bag."
yeah.
But I didn't have the money to get it just yet. I said, "It's my bag," and I took a picture of it, and I wrote, "It's my bag. It belongs to me." And 3 months later, it was my bag.
I love it.
And I was somewhere there in my class.
I love it.
And
That's the
and then I
power of
got with everything.
manifestation.
I told you the power of manifestation, the law of attraction. It's so vital. It's
I love it.
I am a walk-in manifestation today, to be
I love it.
honest.
What's the fancy word? I concur. My wife said that this house that we're in now, I sent it to her by mistake. We already had a house we
Well,
sold. They bought this one, but I sent her this one by mistake, and because she wanted a house on the wall, like on a pond and all that stuff. And I'm like, babe, we bought during COVID. Now we're moving during like when it's the highest interest rates. We're not gonna.
huh?
That's my house. We're in the house right now, so I'm not gonna get deeper into the story. But the power of
Oh, but
manifestation.
enough that.
She always says it. She's like, "Esto," and I'm like, I'm very optimistic with a lot of things, but I don't know. I guess it's because of where I come from. Like, I would have never thought being a kid from Washington Heights, having owning a home is like I didn't. I
Mhm.
was on the block right now. When I was a kid, I'd be on the block by the fire hydrant. Like that was my life, and I was gonna stay in my mom's rent controlled apartment with a little job, and that
Mhm.
was it. But that's why I believe in it, and I admire the fact that you keep coming back to that and mentioning and then talking about like the next thing is this, but I'm already there and I already have it, which is awesome. Is there
But
anything?
see,
Go ahead. Sorry.
sorry. No, no, no. Say.
No, no, no. I was gonna ask you a question, but it's fine.
No, ask me the question. I'm
Oh no,
probably just gonna go into that.
no, no. I was just gonna say, like, as we're closing out, is there
Uh-huh.
anything, any message that you want to give the people seeing this, hearing this, that you would like to express? Anything you would like to touch on?
The only thing that comes to my mind right now, based on this conversation, is be true to yourself. Don't follow trends. Don't let social media dictate your worth. Half of the shit that you see on social media is fake. Be kind to yourself. That has been one of the biggest challenges I've ever had and faced. Be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself for the wrong things you have done and for the things that you will do wrong in the future. Know and understand that you are perfectly imperfect in God's eyes. And whatever it is that you do, God will always be with you. He's here right now. Amen.
Hey, man, love that. I love that. That was beautiful. Esmeralda, thank you so much for dropping gems, and allowing me to dig into your story. And this served for inspiration and motivation to me, like just and having the pleasure of interviewing you today on the show and hearing your story and hearing from start to beginning and ongoing. And I follow you and I'm going to support everything that you do, and I admire it from the distance because I know you're in the Northeast. um
See,
but you're definitely a light of inspiration for a lot of people, and in being here to tell the story is going to be so much more powerful. And I feel honored to have you on the show and to have you tell your story.
thank you for having me. It's been
Yes,
great chatting,
amazing.
yapping.
Yeah, but yeah. So thank you so much for being on the show. And I look forward to um the book that you're gonna launch, the affirmations. I've always wanted one of those books. I actually bought one for my barber one time.
When it drops, I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. And
Ay,
I love
hello.
supporting.
Love it. Thank you so much, Madrid. I hope you have an amazing day.